Welcome, podcast lovers. I am super excited to share this very special episode with you today. Chris coaches a brave soul live on our podcast. Now, this beautiful woman is a client of ours. She is a few months into her Ending Body Burnout Method journey, so working through our holistic root cause program. And she reached out to us initially before starting the program because she was really struggling with exhaustion, burnout, bloating, sleep issues, and anxiety. And she will share with us during the coaching session that she is a multiple world champion athlete, or has been in the past, and is still active in her athletic endeavors. And this was majorly impacting her ability to perform. So her body burnout, the exhaustion, the low motivation, the sleepless nights was greatly impacting her ability to show up and compete. And it was really scaring her because who would she be without the identity of the athlete? So this is exactly what we dive into, or what Chris dives into in this coaching session. And it's real and it's raw and it's honest. And I just listened back to it. So I could do this intro and write the show notes. And there were so many times I had my hand to my heart feeling for her and crying and just sending so much love to Stella, because she shows up honest and vulnerable, and she gets to her deepest root cause on the coaching call, which is really cool. And this deepest root cause has been causing her to push on and burn herself out and her body out. And what is also uncovered during the coaching session is how burying past wounds from childhood and teenage bullying will always show up in patterns and our health issues. And more importantly, Chris at the end coaches Stella through how she can rewrite that story. So this is a really, it's up there with one of my favorite podcasts. So I really know that you're going to get so much value out of it. Just to, frame some of the language that Chris and Stella are using, so that if you're not a client or haven't been one of our clients inside our Ending Body Burnout Method, you kind of know what they're talking about. So in our program, the Ending Body Burnout Method, we work on both the physical body system imbalances and we get to the deeper root causes, especially as it concerns unconscious baggage and metaphysical dysfunction. And the deepest root cause of body burnout that we believe in our practice comes back to a deep unconscious core belief that one has created, usually before the age of 7. And it's a big journey to get there. And that really is the first part of the metaphysical side of healing that we take our clients through. So getting clear on patterns and dysfunctions and taking full responsibility that they created this, even if it was unintentionally, unconsciously, and then using those patterns, looking underneath those patterns to look underneath it. Well, what's the deepest fear that you have about yourself? Because this is going to be driving everything. And then from there, once the deepest root belief is uncovered, and this is where this coaching session takes place. But after that, then it's like, great, mission number 1 is to change that root, to pull it out and to let it go and to rewire and reprogram. And, that's the rest of the process, I guess, inside Spark, in which we somatically, unconsciously, and also use our conscious captain mind to be able to create big change so that the body can heal. So around that, our Ending Body Burnout Method is open in 2 weeks, which is super exciting. We only open doors 3 times a year. So if you've been joining our program, has been on the wait list, on your dream list, or you're feeling called to come and do some deep healing with us, definitely pop your name down on the wait list. So I'm going to pop that in the show notes. The benefit of being on the wait list is, one, you'll be first to hear when doors open, and you'll also get 48 hours of early bird access. So that means you can grab a spot. Our program isn't a course. It's not only group coaching. Both the options of working in the program includes one-on-one consults and coaching. So we only have limited space so that we don't burn ourselves out, but also so we can give our clients big value. Also, when you're on the wait list and you join during the early bird period, you will also receive $500 worth of early bird bonuses. And you may have seen, if you're on our email list or socials, that the prices will be increasing for the Ending Body Burnout Method next intake. So if you want to save up to $1,700, then jump on the wait list so you can score the program and sign up before those prices increase. And the other thing too is during launch week, we hold a free live coaching experience so that you can come and really learn about what we do, how we can help, and to get some transformation on during the webinars and the workshops as well. Like, we've had so many attendees who haven't even joined our program or worked with us get so much value just from the free content alone. So it's a beautiful way to come in and to get to the root of your body burnout. And the free coaching we're running this launch is called Rewire Your Brain to End Body Burnout. And on day one, we're going to look at the body systems that can burn out, that can affect the brain and cause body system imbalances. On day two, we're going to focus more on what this coaching session today is about. So really helping you to identify, well, what is the deepest root cause of your body burnout. And day three is more experiential and practice-based. So we're going to take you through one of my most favorite rewiring somatic type practices to help switch off symptoms. So definitely come along to that. And if you can't make it live, that's okay. You can get access to the recording. Alrighty, let's dive into today's coaching session.
Hello and welcome to the Ending Body Burnout Show. We are your hosts, Chris and Philly, co-founders of a multi-award-winning functional medicine practice, serving busy people with energy, mood, and gut issues.
While busyness, addictive doing, people-pleasing, and perfectionism might be the norm, it's not normal, and it's a major contributor to health issues.
Our goal with this show is to give you a holistic root cause approach to healing your body so that you don't have to continue doctor or diet hopping or popping a gazillion supplements hoping something might stick.
So get ready to heal your body, get your spark back, deeply connect with yourself, and step into the life of your dreams.
Let's dive in. All right, guys, we've got a special episode today. We have a live coaching call with Stella. So welcome, Stella, to our Ending Body Burnout show.
Hey, Chris. Thanks for having me.
All right. So why don't we start with, as much as you want to say, who are you and like what are you working on in terms of why you came to us and that sort of thing. Yeah, tell us a little bit more about you and what you're working on. How's that?
Yeah, sure. I'm 42. I'm from Melbourne, Victoria. I guess what I'm at, like, my background's nursing, mental health nursing. It's been doing that for the last 13, 14 years now. Currently I'm in patient safety, which is more of a remote working position. So it's desk bound currently. I'm no longer clinical, but did quite a few years mental health nursing on the floor and worked my way up through education into what I'm currently doing now. I'm also heavily involved in sport, so I have a very niche sport which I'm extremely passionate about. So I get into dragon boat racing, which means I get to do a lot of paddling and spend some time out on the water, which here in Melbourne is just absolutely beautiful, right in the heart of the city. I have an incredible partner, um, and yeah, enjoying Melbourne, I guess, is the base of it.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And so, what are you working on in terms of support and guidance with us?
Yeah. So I sort of stumbled upon you through Facebook at the start of the year. And I'd just been sort of Dr. Googling because I felt exhausted, both physically and mentally. I sort of was having this lack of energy, no motivation to no motivation for work and no motivation to do the sport that I love so much. I was kind of feeling really bloated. I had this bloating that was sort of extremely painful after meals. But my diet was also sort of suffering because I was eating to sort of fill the void of the exhaustion, and relying heavily on coffee of a morning to get me up and going. My sleep was also really bad. Like I would have this difficulty going to sleep, difficulty staying asleep once I did get to sleep. I'm generally quite a light sleeper and I was just constantly waking up during the night. And I had this constant feeling of anxiety, and overwhelm, which was sort of affecting my work and, making life really difficult. So getting on Google and kind of looking into this, the idea of burnout came up, which was sort of well known in the nursing sphere, but hadn't really sort of clicked that maybe that's what I had. And so, yeah, looking at burnout and burnout treatments and stumbled upon this incredible program.
You go Google, go Facebook. So what's your progress like so far? Where are you up to? What's been going well for you?
Yeah, so I've been working with Philly. We did a few of the lab testing. We looked at, I go all in. So we looked at the adrenal, we looked at the SIBO, and we looked at the brain, sorry, I stumble on is it the endocrine? No,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, we've been working through that. We got all my lab results back and I hit all three. So I had SIBO, my adrenals were burnt out and my endocrine was sort of burnt out. So we've been working to support that on the sort of the therapeutic program side of things, and also been working through the present state, which kind of hit a lot of the ideas that I knew I had, but didn't really realize that it was a problem. So a lot of forcing to push myself to get all my activities done throughout the day. So despite the exhaustion, I would still go and do my paddling training. I would still be hitting the gym, lifting those weights. I would still be on my desk at work and making sure I had all my reports done and my emails responded to. And I'm possibly one of those types of people that I'm very critical on myself. So if I don't feel like I'm meeting goals, I get very down on myself. So it was probably this circular type system, but I've been working on that in the present state of the program, and then also moving into past. And while I don't believe I'm a person who has significant trauma in my past, I have a lot of little baby trauma events which probably have compounded. And I'm currently working through the process of looking at those, but I must admit I'm finding myself quite resistant to sort of scratch into some of that because I don't know. My brain's telling me just I've got other stuff to do.
Yeah. I've got other stuff to do. I love it. I'm just writing that down. I've got other stuff. What is that? I'm gonna, with your permission, I'll ask a few questions around there. Mm-hmm. But you know what? Retreat. Can I have your permission?
Of
Stella,
course.
to dig deeper into these things and where I spot things that might make sense to you when I spot some things that maybe they don't match up with my own understanding or movie in my head. Can I ask you more questions and do a bit of
Yeah.
digging? Is that cool?
Yeah. Let's dig.
Awesome. I half wrote what I said before. I've got other more important things to do. Something like that. Hey.
Oh, just other stuff.
Yeah.
Daily stuff comes up, and digging into the past seems time consuming, I guess.
Yeah. Got it. Okay. Um, yeah, it seems time consuming. And like why is it time consuming in your words?
Um, because I need to be in and it always, I don't know why, but every time I bring up the idea of points from my past, I get quite emotional. So I probably need to be in a certain headspace to delve in, and being in that headspace takes time. Um, and it's easier to just tick off my daily tasks and not set aside the time that potentially I need to do that.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. I'd like to go there and ask you some questions about that. But before we do,
Mhm.
can we just have a couple of deep breaths together? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Just breathe. So just like a big deep breath in, and then just let it out, and then do another one. Good job. You don't have to breathe any sort of way, but breathe in again and out, and in again, and all the way out. We'll just take one more and hold it at the top. Breathe in and just keep holding that and hold that and keep going. And when you feel like it's urgent, see if you can control that breath out. Just hold it until it's gonna, not till it pops, but just feel that urge and then slowly let it out. And once you've let it out, just breathe in again, nice and controlled, nice and easy, so easy. And out, nice and easy. Yeah, that's it. And just nice and easy breathing, just like you've done so many times before. I love it. Thank you. Is whenever I get to this point of a call, I can't get the Ice Cube song out. Not Ice Cube, so not Ice Cube. Vanilla Ice song out of my head. The total opposite of Ice Cube. If you got a problem, I'll solve it. Like I always think it. And I actually, I don't even believe that, because I'm not here to solve anything. I just want you to know that I just want to be a sounding board for you, because you can get the answers that you've already got the answers that you seek. So unlike Vanilla Ice, I'm not here to solve your problems, but I am here to hear you out and ask you some good questions. So let's go to problems. Before you said, I bring up my past and I get emotional.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get in the right headspace to do some digging. Two-pronged question. What's the right headspace? And what's all this emotion about? Like, can you go there?
Sure. It's probably a good question, actually, because the right headspace would be one that isn't where I'm feeling like I would be emotional. But I don't know if that exists. And a lot of how I was raised was that we don't show emotion. Thusly, if I get emotional, I shouldn't be delving into it. So maybe that's yeah, I don't touch it if I get emotional. And if it makes me emotional, I don't touch it.
And what's what's your success rate with that? Like, what's your patterns for not showing emotion? How do you do that? How do you play that game?
Avoidance.
Avoidance. Like how? Like what?
Um, Not, I guess I don't know. I say that I don't hold on to the past. Um, Thusly just let it go. It's done. Move on. Yeah.
I don't hold on to the past. Let it go. Move on. Yeah. Uh, do you do you really do you let it go? Do you move on, or do you just find some sort of rug to sweep it under? Like, what goes on?
Um, I think with a lot of my childhood stuff, it's under the rug.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't look at it. Don't I try not to think about it. Um, yeah, but I feel in my day-to-day life currently, um, my emotional processing is better. I feel that mo majority of my relationships are very well communicated. Like me and my partner, for example, we're very clear on feelings and emotions and thought processes. We discuss how all of those things, and there is no sweeping under the rug because there's no need to. But um, my present state's probably very different to the idea of the past.
Mm. Uh, you mentioned about trauma and a perception about what that means to you, and little thing. I don't know if you just said little things. I have to go back and listen. But a lot of childhood stuff gets swept under the rug, right? And
Yeah.
but we're not talking about trauma, stereotypical trauma type stuff. But there's the mini little t trauma, and there's significant emotional events and how you were raised and conversations, experiences, all that sort of stuff. Not necessarily, perhaps, correct me if I'm wrong, trauma as in the big T traumas, but it's other stuff, right?
Yeah. And look, it probably comes back to working in mental health. I do see and hear people's stories um that are horrific. Um and comparatively, like mine was tiny. Like my parents had a few arguments. Sorry, Rex. Um yeah, parents fought a little bit. I was bullied at school. I've had a few crappy relationships. Um like it's comparatively to some people out there, it was tiny. So, I guess I was raised to like not express emotion about that little trivial stuff, and then I moved into mental health where comparatively it is tiny, but I think there was just a lot of little moments where I probably didn't feel loved or supported or like a um I don't know, cherished child. Um, and yeah, it just built up over time.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Stella, it is so obvious that these problems, these memories, bullied at school, crappy relationships, get over it. Don't show your emotions. Shut up. Hold it in. I don't know if your family said shut up.
No, that's yeah,
All right.
pretty spot on.
Okay. Get over it. I didn't feel like a loved or cherished child. What a beautiful word, cherished child. What I didn't feel like a cherished child. And then you get to work in mental health, and horrific situations and experiences, horrific. We're not talking about a little bit bad. It's horrific, right?
Yeah.
And then you think, oh, get over it, Stella.
Mm.
You,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. What kind of person are you? Like, what do you accuse yourself? If you step into a real, this isn't a word, accusatory. Is that a word? It might be a word. A real accuser, mean language to yourself. What are you saying to yourself in those times where, comparatively speaking, my problems are tiny? What are you actually saying to yourself? What's that inner voice saying?
It just like it's more that suck it up, get over it. Um, I don't have the like I don't know how to phrase it. Like I don't deserve to be whinging over the little things.
Yeah.
And there's the whole it won't change anything to I get a lot like it's so long ago. Like I said, I'm 42 now. I'm talking about stuff that up until my 20s. So it's 2 decades ago. Like I get over it.
How's that going? The getting over it.
I don't know, for some reason it still makes me emotional. So not wow.
Yeah. It's like you put your house together, and I've got this metaphor, this analogy that just I don't know if this lands for you, but I'm imagining cleaning my whole house, like really cleaning it, getting out the good stuff, mopping the floors, getting the cobwebs out, wiping the surfaces, sanitizing it. You know, if I wanted to, I could eat off the floor, kind of thing. Moving, moving out of house type cleaning, but staying, and just doing the full shebang. And then you go sit down on the rug or on the couch, and you just and you feel it. It's like this stabbing, uncomfortable thing. What's something random that I've got on my desk? I've got you can't see this if you're not watching, but I've got a clamp for some reason in my office. So you sit down and you're like, what the heck is that? And you're like, whatever, who cares? Just get over it. I just put that there so long ago. There's no point. I'll just move around. I'll be comfortable. And then you realize I got two. What the heck? And it's just uncomfortable, and you just, shut up, whatever, who cares? Stop whinging. It's just a little thing. But wait, you realize there's actually three. And you just keep feeling this discomfort, feeling this stuff down the back of the couch, under the rug, wherever you're sitting. Wherever you are, you feel it. And you've just gone 2 decades of sitting with it.
Yep.
Yeah. So surely you can go another 2 decades more, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Get over it. Okay. So there's something there. There's something underneath the surface, down the back of the couch, under the rug. And you're sitting with it and it's uncomfortable. The little kid who was raised to ignore it stored those things there, tucked those things out of sight. The little girl who wanted to survive, man, who just wanted to make it to the next day, who wanted to make it through school without being bullied again, without getting told to shut up. That little girl found a way to just bury that stuff and learn to sit with it and ignore it, right?
Yep.
But now you're not a little girl anymore. You're 42. It hurts you. It gives you a pain in the butt to sit on this stuff. It's uncomfortable, right?
Mm.
Obviously, it is because you feel emotion. There's some sort of a charge. Hey,
Yeah.
anything come up while...
Yeah, the
Say that?
fact that, yeah, so kind of in my head, I'm going, I'm not the same person I was back then. I have changed, and like childhood, and like I said, up to my 20s, I was chubby baby, fat little kid, obese teenager. Like weight was a huge thing for me. And in my 20s, I did stuff about it, and I um ended up like got into sport and became very athletic and did all the physical stuff I needed to do to change. And I feel like I'm not that person anymore, and I shouldn't have feelings around how that was because it's irrelevant. I've moved on and I've done the work. I just haven't faced the emotional side of
Yeah.
I don't know. It's to me, it's hard to holding on to being bullied and having negative comments made about me when I'm not like that anymore. Like, I guess part of me is like those feelings shouldn't be there. The hurt shouldn't be there because that's not me anymore.
Not all parts of you. It's not all parts of you, Stella. I correct me if I'm wrong. The You're feeling emotional. You're sitting with these things and you're feeling like there's still something there. But obviously it's not, you're not the chubby, overweight, obese kid anymore. Number one, you're 42.
Yeah.
Number two, you're active into sport.
Yeah.
Number three, you're a valued and contributing member of society. You work in I believe, this is a Chris opinion, but I believe a very valuable career. You do great work. You do honorable, great stuff. So you're not a slob sitting on your bum doing nothing.
Yeah,
With offering no worth and of no value. Like that's not you, hey?
exactly. Yeah.
But there's a part of you that you believe, or that you've got, it's just down the back of the couch. It's unseen, it's unlooked at. It's just hanging around. And it's a perception about yourself that you know, the reason you got into sport, it's is like why is the reason what is the reason you got into sport and do all this physical stuff?
Um, so it's like started is I knew I had to do something, so I found something that like I just showed up because there was an ad in the paper one day about dragon boating. So I went ahead, went out, like I was still on my weight loss journey at that stage. And I just enjoyed it. Being out on the water was amazing. It was a beautiful sunny day, year round. It's a team sport, so everyone sort of chitter chatters away, and it was a really positive environment. And from that, I became quite competitive. I now have a really competitive club, and I represent the state and I represent the country. Um, I've done that multiple times. World champion 3 times over. Like that's incredible. With that comes the constant pressure to perform and the constant pushing, and that's why I'm like in the gym 3 days a week and paddling 4 times a week, and keeping up the cardio. But I think there's this constant pressure now to perform. And while I love that and I love competing and I love the experience of it, um, it's burning me out in a way. And I can't back off because then I'll be like, I won't be the athlete anymore and won't be this person I've built up. And it's so ingrained now in what I'm doing.
If you're not the athlete, who are you?
Yep.
If you're not the athlete, who are you?
Uh, uh, yeah, part of me isn't sure. Like I'd still be a nurse and I'd still work in patient safety. Um, but I take a lot of my value, um, from competing and being so embedded in, my teams. Yeah. Whether that's my club or my state club or, um, yeah, the Australian team.
Yeah. All right. So this identity that you've built for yourself is your solution. It's your solution to a problem. This identity, it's not bad. It's not wrong to have this drive, this desire. Actually, it's cool. It's nice until it's not. And the thing is, you've attached such a attachment to worth. You've attached such a sense of worth and esteem to what you do. It's kind of like muddled up your sense of self, hasn't it? Like if I can't do the things that my perception of myself does, if I can't do the gym or the cardio or get out on the water, if I can't do the things or contribute in the way that I think I should, then who am I? And if I'm not the athlete, then who am I?
Yeah, I would say a lot of my, the way I perceive myself is through the external factors. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a part of you that gets tremendous amounts of worth and validation, love, respect, certainty, connection,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah, yeah. Tick, tick, tick. Yeah.
Tick, tick, tick. You get all this stuff from your teams, and when you stand on a podium and you get a high five and a smile, it's the part of you. It just validates Stella, the athlete.
Yeah.
But behind the scenes, as every athlete knows, it's not just about race day and getting out on the water. There's a bunch that goes into it. There's, I mean, if you just wanted to be a weekend warrior, if I rocked up down there, I'm sure I'd find a supportive environment, have a bunch of fun. I'm pretty tall, so I'm actually a pretty good rower. So maybe I might not come last, but, you know, I probably wouldn't be podium. Maybe I would. I don't know. Might have to give it a crack. But, you know, like I can go in and have fun and then never touch an oar or a paddle, get in a boat, never even go to never go to a meet again, ever, until I die. And I might be okay with that because that's not me. I don't attach my sense of worth to that. You know what I mean? But that's for you. You're a bit different to me, aren't you? If that was all taken away, if you couldn't do the things that a dragon boat racer or athlete does, you kind of left wondering.
Yeah, I would feel very lost, and I would feel like I'd lost my whole community because I guess so much time is spent there that's where friends are, and that's where, but we all bond over the activity of it. So yeah, I don't know. I think I'd be stuck at home pretty lonely without it.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll see if this makes sense. Might go down like a merry-go-round here. Okay, so I watched a YouTube ad, and it was a guy who was an drug and alcohol coach. And this was one of the best ads that I've ever seen in my life. I rarely watch I've got YouTube Premium, so I'm like, what? Why is this ad coming up? I was logged out. Anyway, I was so excited that I watched this ad, and his child died of SIDS, and him and his wife had a tumultuous relationship, up and down, and this guy turned to alcohol and drugs so that he wouldn't think, so that he didn't have to feel. He wanted to go to sleep stoned or off his face drunk so he wouldn't dream. If he wasn't drunk, if he wasn't high, he would dream and he would hurt and he would feel the pain. And so he did the drugs, he did the alcohol. His wife and him split up, and so he kept drinking, kept doing drugs, and it became a problem, in his words. And he tried to stop the problem. He tried to go to meetings. He tried to quit. He tried to give it up. He had such a sense of identity. I am a drunk. I am a druggo. And he had such an identity of that. Anyway, he had this epiphany. Alcohol and drugs, it's not my problem. It's my solution.
Mm.
And as soon as I've got goosebumps. Good ad. And he said, it's not my problem, it's my solution. I do this to solve a problem. So now he clued in on that. It's like he gets the real problem. He gets that it's not his real problem. So he can ask himself the $1 million question, which is like, all right, well, what problem am I trying to solve by getting blotted out drunk or off my face on drugs? And he hated himself. He blamed himself. He had this I am a worthless piece of garbage. And that was the end of the ad. And I was like, what's the end of the story? I don't do drugs or drink alcohol, but I want to sign up to hear the rest of the story. So, Stella, you got into dragon boating for whatever reason. You got into sport, got into the career that you're in. That's not the problem. It's your solution. So what's the problem that you're trying to solve?
Um, Probably lack of self-worth, really, because the whole idea of I'm nothing without it. Like,
Mm. Wow. Nothing's a lot. There's a, I am nothing.
mm,
What else comes up?
yeah, there's probably quite a bit of the whole childhood stuff that feeds into that. I'm nothing. Um, yeah, fat, lazy, stupid, can't do anything right. All that sort of stuff from childhood. Yeah, guess it pushed so hard nowadays to prove that that's not accurate, but without the external stuff, I feel like that's possibly true.
Yeah. In yeah, in your not fully developed heart and mind. It's true. It seems so real and true, but it's not a universal truth. It could mean something else, but I think that's what you're making it mean. You know, what you
Yeah.
have made it mean. When was the first time you felt fat, lazy, stupid, can't do anything right?
Oh, that was all through childhood. That's what I was told by family. That's what I was told by bullies. Like, I don't remember not ever being told, yeah, that it was something. I come, like my family was parents and two younger sisters, and I've got memories of like me and the middle sister are quite close in age, and her doing those little um not pageants, but you know how the shows and they would have the showgirl type stuff, and she was getting to enter them, and I wasn't because I was fat and I don't know, ugly and whatever else, and like I couldn't have been more than sort of five at that stage, but like it's some of the first memories that yeah, I I was not worth it. Yeah.
How did that feel? Like, what sort of emotions did little Stella feel?
Um, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it, like what emotion I would class it as. It was sad and unworthy, like just like you just want to go and hide. withdraw, which is quite honestly probably what I did for a lot of my teenage years. Just really isolated into myself.
Yeah. Okay. I don't I don't see the need in reliving experiences day to day. I don't see the need in holding things underneath the
Yeah.
couch, you know. I don't see the need in that. However, I do see when you're feeling like something's not sitting right with you, I definitely see a value in lifting up the damn covers, having a look underneath the surface, you know, just looking under and go, what the heck is that?
Sure.
So, you're 42, as young as you can remember, family, bullies, middle sister in the pageant,
Yep.
feeling like you're fat and ugly, you
Yep.
weren't worth it, sad, unworthy, wanted to withdraw and hide. These things happened a long time ago, speaking in terms of years. And you could probably tally up all the memories that you've got. You can jot them all down.
Mm. Yeah.
But I tell you what, you would have lost track a long time ago of how many times you said something about yourself. The hard
Oh
things,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
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 The hard things that you went through back then, as hard as they were, and maybe you could compare and do that little comparison game of, oh yeah, but, and then kind of shame yourself for feeling bad about these things. Yeah, but think of all the other kids who've had horrific stuff happen. You know, like you shame yourself for even feeling some sort of emotion.
Yeah.
But all that pales in comparison to the countless number of times you stared at yourself in the mirror in your mind or maybe in real life and just said something about yourself, something really mean.
Yeah.
Like like what, by the way? What sort of stuff?
Um, uh, be that I'm lazy and yeah, it'd be the real like lazy, fat, useless, um, probably even disgusting, like yeah. I don't it's a lot of the time I don't even know if it's words I tell myself. It's just absolute disgust and disrespect. Like if I want to miss a gym session, I'm I'll feel guilty for it for the whole day. Like if I don't go because I'm tired, um, yeah, I will be disgusted with myself all day.
Mm. What's the problem with missing that gym? What's the problem with that?
Yeah, it's probably because I've built up my belief of myself and the fact that if I want to be the best, then I have to do the work. And if I'm not doing the work, then I'm a disgrace and I'm letting people down and I'm letting myself down and letting my team down and my coach down. And, um, yeah. feeding into all that stuff that all through my childhood I was told, and it's probably just proving it all true.
Okay. And let's just say let's say you did. Let's say you proved them all true. Let's just say you let people down. Let's just say you are a disgrace, or you a disgusting, useless, fat, lazy.
Yeah.
What's the problem with that? Why is that a problem?
Because then I've failed.
Ooh. And if you failed, Stella, how is that really a problem? You know?
It probably feeds into some sort of story I have, um, like, what's the point of life if you're failing?
Hmm. Okay. And let's just say you've got that belief. What's the point of life if you're failing? And you fail.
Yep.
You let people down. What does that mean about you? What do you make it mean about you?
I don't even know.
Yeah, you do. It's right there. You're sitting on it. I know you feel like you don't know, but if you did know, what would you say? What's the point of failing? I mean, if you did fail, what's something nasty?
I don't feel like it's not even an option to fail. Like,
Yeah.
I guess that's why I'm so exhausted all the time, because I just keep pushing through because it's absolutely not an option. I don't know why, but
Yeah. See, here's the thing. For there is a part of you. You're so conflicted. Um. Do you see? Like, there's a part of you that feels this is not an option, baby. We are in. We are all in. And from the back of the bus, this other part's just like got their hand up. Are there any questions? And this part's like, gulp. And then the other part's like, there is no option. Do or do not. We're all in. And this part of you, there's another part of you that's being held back. I kind of don't want to talk to the. I'm less interested in the part that's the go-getter, get out there and
Yep.
smash, like that enjoys this sort of thing. That there's a part of you. See, fat, lazy, that's not the problem.
Mm,
That was your solution.
right.
Letting,
The avoidant type stuff of yeah, okay.
What's these? There is this accusation, this dirty, nasty, mean language communication that a part of you is saying about you.
Yep.
But then there's this super positive, is like, come on, everybody, like Tigger, let's go, let's get out there and row. Come on, let's go. Come on, pick up the tempo of the drums. Come on, let's go.
Yep.
Add another 10 RPM to that. Let's go. That's the way. There's the part of you, but then there's another part that's just like, I don't want to put words in your mouth, so I'm not going to finish my sentence, but I am not enough somehow.
Look, swear word comes
Yes,
out. Yeah,
do it.
I'm shit. Like I'm just
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. That's it. Lean into that, Stella,
Yeah.
and just feel into that. If that was true, what might you go? What might you do to prove that you weren't?
Anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep pushing and forcing and because I guess I really don't want to do shit.
You don't want to be that way. You don't want that. And so you will, this part of you that stands up there and comes up with these survival catchphrases says it's not an option to fail. We are active. In fact, we're more than that. We're an athlete. I'm not a weekend splasher. I am an athlete.
Yeah, got badges to say it and everything.
Exactly. You don't believe me? Check out my trophy room, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
This is,
Yeah.
in fact, this is trophy room
I'm
A
proof.
and this is trophy room B.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And mind your feet on that box because that's the stuff that, it's not worth showing. They're just like, there's some medals here and there. They're the local stuff. You've got this part that will go to any length to prove that this limiting belief about yourself isn't true. But really, deep down, for the longest time, you've been saying that about yourself.
Yeah.
And it feels some kind of way. Like when you say that to yourself, how does that feel?
Yeah. I feel like it hurts in a lot of ways. It hurts me to the core, I guess. I guess I, like there's so much worry that it's true.
Yeah. Lean into it. Don't try and push that away. Just keep that there. Hold on to that. Hold on to that feeling where it hurts you to the core, Stella. Hold on. Lean into it. Breathe into it. Don't try and force it away. And notice it. There's so much worry that it's true. And the real insight here is this is the monster under the bed. This is your boogeyman. And I don't know about you, but the monsters under the bed are scary. And I would just, when I was a kid, I would not look, I wouldn't want to look under the bed because I was scared of the monster under the bed. I was scared of the very thought. But now, as a dad, as an adult, and I can do this with my little girls, I can say, honey, I'll look under the bed. It's just fluff. Oh, and a sock. Do you want to have a look with me, honey? And she goes, no. I'm like, come on. It's just fluff and a sock. Here's the sock. Ew, it's got dust on it. Yeah, that's fluff. Come on, have a look. And then she leans over, looks under the bed. It's just fluff. It feels so real, and she was so scared. She wanted the nightlight on. But when you really look at it, it's just fluff, Stella.
Yep.
But it feels so real right now, and you'll go to any length to protect yourself. Just like a little kid pulls the blanket over their eyes as if that's going to protect them from the monster under the bed. You get all these things and you build these identities for yourself to prove and defend and to cover up that monster under the bed, that fluff. It doesn't really exist. So the intention today was to name the monster, figure out a root belief, a core wound that seems to drive the whole show. How do you feel about your belief?
How do I feel about it? Wow. I feel a little bit disappointed, I guess, that like I had such shitty experiences in childhood that I'm a bit resentful about it in a lot of ways. Part of me feel like I don't feel like it's fair.
Yeah. Yeah. I got a little saying for you.
Yeah.
It's never too late to have a happy childhood.
Yeah.
Now I could say anything. I could say, you're you're a legend. Actually, you're more than that. You're a dead set legend. More than that, you're a fair income flaming dead set legend. You know, I could say anything like that, but it doesn't matter what I say. It matters what you say, because you believe that the monster under the bed, that you are shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, you feel resentful. It's not fair. Why me? This is the victim mentality below the line, right?
Yeah.
However, it still doesn't acknowledge, like, well, you still got a flaming stuff. You're still sitting on it. I am shit. And if you pull this one out and you look at that one too, I am shit. We're gonna have to censor this podcast. This one, I am shit. It's just there. Anytime you feel triggered, annoyed, frustrated, unresourcefully emotional, you know, you watch The Notebook, and you're like, you know, but there's a different kind of emotional, like when you're feeling that, I am shit has just showed up.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel sad that you maybe feeling tired and burned out, and then all of a sudden you have some sort of a shame or a fear that the athlete is dead.
Yeah.
I am shit. Here we go again.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Okay. So just to walk you back from the edge of that one, that's just a bunch of fluff, FYI. You made that up, Stella. And until you make up a new meaning about yourself, that old meaning is going to stick around. So you need to, it's just like literal fluff. That fluff in the sock is going to be under the bed until you put something else there, like a vacuum cleaner, and you vacuum it up, right?
Yeah.
So you got, I don't want to say suck it up. That's got a different meaning. You want to clean it up. You want to get that space clean. Yeah?
Yeah.
You need a different meaning. And so I'm going to say homework for you is to find your reframe, like apologize to yourself, because the bullies said what they said, they did what they did. Your parents did what they did, they said what they said. You didn't get into the pageant, but your sister did. All those things they have happened, but what's remained is you've said something to yourself every day since then. And so you've been saying for the longest time, I am shit. That's worth apologizing for.
Yeah.
That's you saying that to you about you.
Yeah.
Right? That's not a bully. That's not your mum. That's not your dad. It's not your sister. It's not somebody else. It's you.
Yeah.
Now you have power over that. You can't go back and change the past bullies, make them not touch you,
Yeah.
But what you can do is you can change your perception about yourself. You can change the fluff. You can clean that up. Cleaner language. And we might call this one here, put the pause on it, and I send you off to a reframing work. It's like, right.
Yeah.
I need to apologize. I need to make up for all these. There was a reason why I said this. There was a reason why I said that about myself. I get it. But my believable plan going forwards is I'm not going to do that. And I'm going to have a different way of relating to myself.
Yeah.
I am, for my personal one, I would always think, oh, I'm so unlovable. No. And then I reframed it. I am lovable, not by everyone. And that's okay.
Yeah.
So that's how I reframed my own personal one. And that works for me. That might not work for everyone. And I really embody that now. My invitation to you would be to find your reframe. Clean that space underneath your bed.
Yeah, right. Actually, it pops into my mind. I'm not shitty. I just had a shitty childhood.
Oof. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't me. It's just the environment.
Yeah. Yeah. And as hard as one last little story was when I was in the Army Reserves, we did this training course where we dug trenches. And I'm 6'7", and you have to dig it to a certain height so that when you stand in the trench, it protects you from getting shot. Anyway, my trench mate was 5'3" or 4". He was tiny. He was short, very short. Anyway, so he was done digging his trench super quick. And then it started raining. Now, water runs downhill, so my end of the trench was full of water up to like my knees. And so for a week, we were fighting in and out of these trenches, and it was just a really rough go. It was crap. I got trench rot. I was only out there. I was there for a week, and I just think I did that comparison game that you were doing. I think of everybody else. I think of the Anzacs. They were there for months, getting shot at with real bullets. I've just got blanks and occasional rock. And it was just, guilt and shame. Anyway, time, it's hard. You've got these hard experiences, but I think of that moment as life happens for us, not to us. And I look back with rose-colored glasses at that real challenging time. Instead of saying, it's shit. My personal favorite reframe is, that was challenging.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the capacity to meet the demands of that challenge. When I was growing up, I had a lot of challenges. I had a real challenging time. I didn't have the resources. I didn't have the words. I didn't have the people. I didn't have the support. And I was very overwhelmed. And to get me out of that, I had all these practices of survival. And along the way, I made up a belief about myself. I am shit. And that's what I believed for the longest time until, what's the date today? Thursday, 24th of April. I realized, you know what? I got a new way of believing about myself. That's just fluff. I'm going to clean that up. I'm going to get some cleaner language because I am not.
Yeah.
I am, and I'll let you fill in the blanks. Something more empowering, more resourceful, less victimy, and
I'm resilient.
Yeah, you are. I am resilient. I love it. Yeah. I am resilient. And then you can do some work around, well, what does that even mean? What does resilient mean? You spend a lot of time on the water. Water molds to whatever you pour it into. You take you out of the cup and you pour you into the bathtub, you become the shape of the bathtub. Take you out of the bathtub, pour you into the river, you become the river. You take the athlete out and you're still you. You're resilient, yeah. Stella. Beautiful. All right. Well, I reckon we'll call this one here. Stick around. I'm going to say goodbye to our listeners and I'll have a little debrief with Stella. But thank you everyone for listening in. We'll see you on the next one.
Thank you so much for listening. We so appreciate you. If you'd like to give us extra smiles, drop us a review and spread the love by sharing this episode.
You can also rate your own state of burnout and the root cause contributors by taking our Ending Body Burnout Assessment on our website. And if you're interested in learning about our group or one-on-one Ending Body Burnout programs, shoot us a DM via Instagram or Facebook.
Have the best day ever.